Hey yo gang, it's your boy as usual, you know what I'm saying, coming back with another video. This time we're gonna be dealing with mixing. I hope my mic is right. We're gonna be dealing with mixing. Just don't mind the background noise because my nieces and nephews are out here, man. Yeah, in the next room. I'ma just be dissecting my song titled Mission. Let me just play that for y'all and we'll take it from there.
Lyricist, right?
I'm on a mission, 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 I'm on a mission. I got a vision, 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 I got a vision. I'm on a mission, 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 I'm on a mission. I got a.
Alright, that's enough for y'all. That's enough. So what's happening here is, first things first, when you mix, actually you should be using a lot of EQ for most of your sounds, especially if you're going to be using synths and bass sounds and those kinds of sounds. You're going to have to be using an EQ, parametric EQ. This one is for, let me see, what's this one for? What sound is this? Okay, I have no idea what sound that is. Yeah, it's that brass kind of sound. Let's hear it when it's normal without the EQ and without the effects. That's without the effects, without anything added onto it. With all the effects, it's much cleaner. You can hear that. It's a lot cleaner, neat, more professional sounding. And what I did here was basically I just took this band over here and around 3000 hertz, 3500 hertz, put it down because I think I was making space for my vocals actually, so it won't interfere with the vocals, because you have to, when you're mixing, you have to keep in mind every other instrument so that they don't clash or anything like that. I also dropped it down here in the low mids for more space, none of that muddiness, to just take out of that muddiness of the sound. For this melody, okay, I think I should have started with this. For the melody, did the same thing pretty much. I have an automated EQ over there. Pretty much took down a lot of the treble, cut it down right to the mids, and left out some low mid and bass from the sound. And let's see from this other one over here, I cut down a bit on the low mids because it really sounded muddy. Wait, let me play the thing without the effects, without the EQ. That it doesn't sound really nice, on its own. So with the effects, over here, it sounds bright. It starts to sound bright over here when it goes into the chorus. Then by the time it hits the chorus, it cuts down because I'm making space for my vocals. And yeah, again, just don't mind the background noise. So I'm making space for my vocals so that I can be heard, because that's the driving force of the song. It's the hook, so nothing must disturb the hook, nothing must block it from being heard by the viewer, etc., etc. And we can let's get into the bass more. I did apply a bit of compression weight on that melody, not too much, a ratio of about 3, a tag of about 17 milliseconds, and pretty much a slow attack, fast release time, and yeah, the threshold is at about -26. So, and I increased it by 2 decibels. That's it. So when it comes to you know, the drums now, when it comes to the drums, it's a lot of heavy bass in there. Again, EQ is your best friend when it comes to mixing. You gotta make space. Especially for this kind of bass. It has a lot of high end, and this comes from the XXX sound kit. So, and if you heard XXX's music, his 808s are always they always have some treble into them for some reason, you know. Distortion, yeah, I think I should say that distortion adds some treble to the bass. So I cut out a little bit of that treble that was coming from that bass line, and just a little bit on the low mids because it was coming into a hot and shit like that. But yeah, pretty much that's it. And this is the only one that I used, the only EQ that I used. These others I turned off because they weren't necessary, I guess. And yeah, so on that note, I also sidechained a bit here to make sure that kick gets a full effect on the song, and does not duck behind the 808. You know, sometimes you get music where the 808 and the kick clash, so you have to make sure that the thing is coming out clean, you know. The kick has to hit, and in hip hop, you know, man, you gotta feel that kick, you know. You gotta feel the drums. So the kick, I made space for the kick within the 808 by using a side chain, basically linking the two together. So every time the kick hits, the 808 kind of like turns down in volume by at least, let me just check here, I don't know how many decibels. I thought I would be able to tell, but it ducks by a few decibels, you know, every time that kick hits. But it's only like a split second thing. You barely can hear it, you know. So yeah, but moving on to the snares, you know, snares, not much I did here. A nice aesthetic thing I did was add the reverb to the snare, because it just, the beat sounds so simple, right? And it has the space. So with some reverb, it creates this atmosphere like it's busy or something, when actually the beat itself is pretty simple. You know, I didn't do complicated techniques and stuff like that, or complicated drum patterns, no. So I just added some reverb to this. As you can hear, it's just a little bit of reverb. Of course, I did the EQ, boosted it up in the high end. I did a little bit of, actually that's a lot of compression, but I did some compression just to make it sound more clear. As you can hear right now, if I take out the effect, the snare sounds a bit boring. You know, when I put that on, the snare sounds a lot stronger, you know. It gives that strength to the snare with this compression. It's a very slow compressor. Release time is at about 180. Attack is also slow, because I want that transient to kick, to hit. If I had a very fast attack time, it would stop those transients from coming in. Then, that hard hitting sound of the snare would just be flat, if this attack time was faster. But yeah, so I had to make it slow, and that's why it sounds so hard and it knocks. And the snare, the hi-hat, yeah. Oh, nothing much I did in the hi-hat. Okay, I see I removed a bit of low end, and that's about it. Boosted it here, and that's it. I'm not sure if I talked about the kick though. The kick, let's hear it without the effect. Let's hear it with. You can hear the difference. It's a lot louder, like real loud, and it hits hard, and that's the thing with trap. Your kicks gotta knock. You gotta feel those kicks, bruh. So same thing with the snare here. Very slow compression, and this knee here, very hard knee as well. I really want to have a video for one of these, but my background doesn't look too pretty right now. I want to show myself while I explain these things, but my background doesn't look too pretty right now. But anyway, that's the main thing that's happening in this song anyway. The rest are just extras, vocals, and I guess we could get into the vocal.
I'm on a mission, I'm on a mission, I'm on a mission. I got a vision, I got a vision, I got a vision, I got a vision, I got a vision.
As you can see, my vocal chain is insane. There's a lot of shit on my vocals, and that's the thing, because it's really hard to perfect my my voice in terms of sonics. I've tried so hard. I've literally used so many techniques to get my voice perfect. Since I was in high school, I've been trying to get that right. So I figured it out somehow, but I'm still not happy, with the way my vocals come out when it's on a song. Sometimes I guess maybe it's not even the effects. Maybe it's just I just don't like the way my voice sounds on a song. I don't know, but that's nothing I can change. But anyway, there's a lot of EQ here. There's a lot of compression. Of course, I added a bit of autotune, just to give that trappy vibe, I guess. And yeah, some more compression over here. Basically, my vocals consist of EQing and compression, and de-essing. Yeah, those three are your most important things you want to consider when you vocal mixing, because vocal mixing is quite hard to get right, especially if you're gonna make professional sounding songs. I was like, I don't know, I found it hard to perfect that, but over the years I got better at it. Every time I did a song, I got better at it somehow, and it takes learning, really. One thing I do want to try out is actual using hardware, physical compressors, analog compressors, let me say it like that, you know, because I think then I'll be satisfied with the way I project my voice on tracks, and maybe I'll be satisfied. Who knows? But yeah, I also added a bit of reverb on these vocals with reverb and delay. It's side chained to this channel. Bit of reverb, bit of delay, as that is quite important as well, because sometimes if you don't use reverb on vocals or delay, your voice is gonna sound really dry on the song, you know. But you can make it work. There's a lot of songs that just put dry vocals on the on tracks, and it works, you know. But I do recommend, like, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to have like a really nice room to record in, first of all, so that we can't hear any extra things in the background, I guess. Not that reverb covers that up, but I'm just throwing that in there. And yeah, okay, that's it with my track mission. Yeah, I think I'm done here. I guess I could leave on something. I think the most important thing to think about when it comes to making music and mixing music, really, it's to think about all of your tracks and the relationship they have to each other, you know, because that is how you make the perfect mix. There's no such thing as a perfect mix, but that is how you keep the relationship of the sounds working in harmony with each other, you know. You gotta make sure that one thing does not silence the other, you know, maybe, like, you know what I'm saying, like dominating over the other instruments, you know. You gotta make sure that everything, oh my god, you gotta make sure everything is working together. And I'm out. Battery's low. Peace.
Mission, I'm on a mission. I gotta